Go. I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to return to ourselves. Today's topic was inspired by Joe. I am very tired and was pulling a bit of a blank, right? Not knowing what it is I want to talk about. And returning to the self seems like as good a topic as any of the ones that we've covered in this space. You want to tell us what it means to you to return to the self?
Kind of letting go of all the constructs that and all of the things that we think that the external world needs us to be,
Mm,
and
okay.
returning to the self.
I think I
Kind
relate
of
to them.
intrinsic. There's extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is things like your job, like, oh, I have to do work because of money, so like I need to do this and that. Intrinsic motivation is within the self, right? The self motivation. Like, I want to draw a picture because I like drawing pictures.
Mm,
And so I feel like returning to self is like finding the balance even in between the two, or um, knowing thyself. It's a forever pursuit. We kind of get out of our get out of our minds and into our heads too much sometimes, and sometimes it's appropriate just to quiet the mind and get back to the self. I don't know. It's pretty
I
abstract.
I feel like I'm relating to how you're articulating. Like last night we had a conversation about almost like the consciousness and the experience, right? And I feel like that's the way I'm relating to this topic. It's like the self to me is completely disembodied, right? The real self. And in a way, returning to it, the return, at least in my mind, is a kind of body action, right? It's like the same no man can go through the same river kind of perspective,
Mm-hmm.
where you are returning to the river, but you're returning to the river as a person, but you're still technically the same self, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
not the same individual. You might have grown, you might have changed in the meantime, but the same conscious experiencer is still there for both of those instances. And I feel like that is how I've been trying to almost like steer myself. The meditations I've been doing has me disembodied for a lot of it, right? And I feel like that's almost like what I've been doing this week is like returning to the self. And part of that journey has been kind of like abstaining from the flowers. And I don't think the flowers make me any less myself, but it does almost like soften my attachment to myself. And I know that there are people that will use cannabis as a tool for spirituality. And I think I've done it as well. I've had experiences like that, but it is something that you have to be mindful of. Like the self will, or at least the ego, will kind of like co-opt or use these things, even if it doesn't know how these things are influencing. I'm suddenly realizing there's some chats. I changed my profile pic.
Echo the
Echo.
furry bean.
Am I the only one here?
Right
For now,
now.
yeah, it's a new friend. The 12 and a half year old,
Morning,
right?
BSF.
Hello, hypermodel saying hello, BSF giving us a good morning. I'm gonna go now. Bye. Nice to have you here. You look cute, guy. Are you on Grinder? Bet you wish I was, but no, unfortunately not. Oh no. Oh yes, Cyrus 44 and hi. That girl is stunning, isn't she?
Aw,
You're right,
it looks like
Saren Baron.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us. Like this morning, you were like, "Yeah, I like your hair. Thanks."
I know, I hear that. Oh, it's that crispy leaf up
Yeah,
here.
that's scripty scripty. Let me just.
Returning to the self. I think it's a good point that you made. Using cannabis as a tool to get to a certain space. I mean, you definitely can use it to break yourself out of your normal ways of thinking. So it's definitely a tool. But when it becomes a crutch, that's where if you can't travel to the place that you need to go to without it, kind of thing.
Like, it's interesting you use that word because I've never really felt cannabis is a crutch for me. It's always been something that I enjoy doing, but I think my personal journey has been just like almost not appreciating it, right? It just becomes
Yeah.
another thing.
Right. A part of the habit, kind of. It
Yeah.
is a habitual thing. It becomes habitual. And I think in the topic of like returning to the self, cannabis itself can be a tool, but it is an addition to the self, right? It's an addition. It's something that's added. So like returning to the self is like seeing the self without the additions. And it's hard because like then we have to see this, we have to like confront things within the self. It's not easy confronting the self. It's really a lot easier looking outwards and confronting that stuff. If that makes any sense. Yoga, bro. I'm getting caps for
Getting,
life. What's
getting
up,
big right
Doug?
now, bro. I hope you have a beautiful trip, dear friend. I hope that it serves you well and that you return
Take
to yourself.
taking every breath with intention, or not,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, girl, you look lovely and gorgeous. Thank you, Gus. You're the best. No, you, Eve.
it's just a face.
Okay, it was the light. She ain't that old at all.
Did I look old? That's funny, Danny boy. I'm a little old. Old is relative.
Yeah, it's like
What are we batting around today?
we're talking about returning to the self, Sam. Maybe you can tell us about your journey of returning to the self and finding yoga and having a kid, right? I feel like having a kid, you probably don't get to think about yourself at all much.
Yeah, man, what a trip having children. So much respect for parents and mothers out there. We're going to a birthday party today. My best friend's little girl or little boy is 1 year old. And just that 1 year, how much it changes you because, man, a year's a long time
Especially for a baby.
for a baby, for a mom
Yeah.
finding time to return to themselves. Like, it is hard to find time whenever you're tending to everything else. I say as I look at the dog.
That dog has been tended to a lot this week. He is getting better finally. He got some medicine yesterday.
Yeah.
We're nursing him back. Sam says on cannabis being a crutch, it really just depends on how you're using it and what you need it for.
It's true.
I completely
It's
agree,
true.
Sam.
Because you were talking about how your back, you're noticing the pain in your back again. Right. And, pain, physical pain, it could be debilitating. Many people use it as the medicine to heal their ailments, not necessarily to heal them, but to allow them to
Treat them.
exist within the world, to kind of even keep up with others. And I personally, like, there's so many tools that you can use to do that. And I think cannabis itself, me personally, this is just an opinion, is one of the better ones that you can use to do that.
Yeah, especially in a culture where we smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol.
Exactly, yeah.
And people
Or
cope.
opioids.
Or opioids, exactly. Like we as human beings do seem to have a, what's the word I'm looking for? Propensity, gravitating towards a desire to alter our consciousness, right? And there are many different ways to do that. And I feel the reason we do that is because we as a society are sick, right? Like we get so constricted and get so ego consciousness. That friend that talked about how, I think it was William. It was William who talked about it. Was it? maybe. How if you're out in nature, suddenly the openness, right, changes your whole perspective. Where with being in a building, being in a room with four
Four
walls,
walls.
it like echoes. Every word you say comes right back at you, almost like enforcing that self-centeredness, right? And that's the way. That's like, and there's a difference between self-centered and returning to the self, which I feel is like we can, or splitting hairs in a way, but that's almost to like echo Sam's sentiment of like how you're using it. I feel like that's how I've been using it, where it creates a certain softness, a lack of that self-centered criticism, right? Because in self-centeredness, you can also cast a lot of judgment upon yourself about where it is you are, about who it is you are, about how it is you are. And in the society, we're taught where that behavior is enforced, right? As you said earlier, the whole intrinsic and extrinsic motivations, where if you're constantly just fighting for your survival, you have to do things in order to continue existing. We gravitate towards altered states of consciousness because that's the only reprieve.
It's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's the only
Yeah.
break that we get from the intensity of it all.
Yeah. Finding that break is a skill that we can build, and it's not easy to do. And there's definitely things that make it easier, right? And if it's a tool that helps us to find where it is that we're trying to get to, adding awareness. Like if it's a tool that adds awareness, that's great. Adding awareness is always helpful. Like, is it not? I don't know. Is that a true statement?
I mean, for me, like to add to that perspective, I have been feeling the want, right, to go back to it. And every time I stop myself, I feel like that is adding awareness, where it's like so easy to just go back to the pattern that I have practiced before. And choosing to stop myself before I do something. And it's not like, again, right, in the world of things that are bad for us, eating fast food every day will probably be worse for you in the long term than smoking a joint every day, kind
Oh
of
yeah.
thing. Right? And in that way,
I guess it depends because it can affect
yeah,
everybody. I guess it always
you can
depends.
smoke a joint and then that makes you want to eat fast food. So so it is like one of these things where it's difficult for us to say what's right and what's wrong. And it's more important for you to almost like realize why it is you're doing things. Like what triggers in your life pushes you towards those things. And like identifying, for me, it's usually almost like a sense of like I want to use the word fuck itness, like
Yeah, no, totally.
right, like fuck it, well, might
It's
as
like,
well.
ah.
Exactly. That's sometimes when I will falter. I will indulge more than I'm supposed to, or and to not get to that point, right? To realize
To
that,
push past that.
yeah, to be like, you know what, I can just throw my hands up in the air and admitting
Coping.
defeat.
That's coping, right? That is coping. To be like, how do I cope with this like feeling that's spinning within me? And cannabis is a way that I've definitely been doing that. That's that kind of like F it energy, like I'm just gonna smoke about it, right? But yeah, depending on what you're going for, which I think that one of the reasons I'm abstaining is to really just dive into it, to the felt experience, to that lived experience. Like, no, I'm here to experience this, so let's go. It's what I've committed to right now. I'm going to experience this thing.
Returning to the self
I'm
of
going
clarity.
to learn a lot about myself because, like, it allows for those feelings to arise and express themselves without me, like, without me shushing them, without me, like, quiet them down. Like,
Exactly.
that's not a fun one to experience. Like, no, it's not fun. I don't want to.
The fun thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
not everything has to be fun. Kind of perspective. I feel like we have so many friends in chat today. We got Angry Otter.
Angry otter.
I like Angry Otter. It's been nice having you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. Sam also said to someone trying to spread the satanic panic about anybody's religion or practice is not going to be a thing here. I love how these things get kind of like just.
Yeah, we have 20-sided dice in this house. Like, there's no satanic panic.
We played a game yesterday called Canvas. I don't know if it's related technically, but some of those cards can be like I made a work of art that was called what? Corrupted?
Darkness.
Corrupted darkness. Literally, it was like this
That's a
dark.
double negative. Would that be a positive?
I mean, darkness isn't evil in my
I guess
mind,
that's true.
but corrupted darkness.
It's definitely
That that might be a little bit bad, and it's this like hand that's like
out of the
yeah, and it's
darkness.
like made of like all black, almost like shadow hand, and then there's an eye looking at the hand, and it was like surrounded by, and even though it was a dark piece of art,
It's still kind of beautiful.
it was still beautiful. Yeah, and again, to my dad would not make that work of art. He'd be like, no,
Do you,
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make corrupted darkness. I'm gonna make, love and light and holy. And like for me, that's been my experience where I can return to myself
blessed prayer.
day after day. Blessed prayer.
I wonder if that's one in there.
There probably would be. I'm sure there's a blessed prayer somewhere. Oh, it's a cute game. I'm happy that we played it together. It was fun.
Yeah.
Let me see some more. Yo, you're the guy, right? Remember you helped me with $50 when I ran out of gas? Yo, man, thanks a lot. Uh, I have done that before, but I don't know. Like, I did that to a person in South Africa, and I don't know if
What was it?
I like put gas in someone's car for them.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, because you were. Yeah.
Yeah, that like this dude was just standing next to the road, like.
Oh, that. You gave them gas when they were out of gas. What a noble guy.
Well, I wasn't trying to be noble. I was just this guy had kids in the car and it was South Africa's heat, and I was like, bro, you need to get to somewhere safe. Well, you can't be next to the road with your kids.
Man.
And then after I helped him, I can't even remember who I talked to about it. He was like, yeah, you shouldn't help people like that because they're just like riding on, like, and I wouldn't be surprised if that guy does that, where he just like
Goes as
drives.
far as he can. and
Yeah,
hopes someone helps him.
waits, somebody helps him, goes further again, waits, goes further again. Like they were definitely living in that car. I could see it. They were definitely living in that car. And I mean, with two kids as well. I gave him my YouTube channel. I did give him my YouTube channel. I was like, tune in again. So could be. I hope if it's you. Hope that you're doing well. Hope that you're showing up for the world. Do squats and deadlifts for core and legs. Yeah, that would be good stuff. Can I get moderator? No. ABF squad. ABP squad. Always be farting. Always be poop.
What?
Where are y'all at? Fucking Dan. Dan is here.
Oh,
Satanic is the label conservative Christians slap on something when they feel threatened by it. Nobody is forcing the yoga upon you, Danny the boy. Do use your
Are you
common
breathing?
sense.
Because if you're breathing, then you're yogging.
Yeah. Do you know what yoga means? What do you guys do? She's a graphic designer, and I'm a yoga teacher.
I sit in chairs. I stand up. I clickety clack on computers.
Hey Google, define yoga. Just make it very simple. Yoga is a mind-body practice connecting physical postures, breathing exercises, and meditation to improve overall health and mental focus. Like who reads that and goes like, yeah, that's satanic. Must be Satan.
Jesus doesn't want you to take care of your body.
Jesus doesn't want you to have overall improved health and mental focus. No.
You'd be surprised how many Christians do yoga. How many like the yoga isn't for any religion. Yoga is just a practice.
I think it's, as Sam said, it's because it's the unfamiliar. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's is it Eastern?
It is Eastern originally.
That's Eastern, and we're the Western. We're right, we're right, I'm wrong. It's like, I think we've evolved past that kind of perspective. We got a friend from India, Islamic AI. It's an interesting name. Hello, sis, I'm from India. I do skincare, but pimples was not gone. Please give me any tips. If I knew, I would be doing things as well.
Sugar, right? Isn't like here's a tip, like sugar causes inflammation in within the skin, doesn't it? Doesn't
Yeah, you're right. Sugar is a big one.
oils.
If you can just cut sugar out, your skin will get better. We got Bearded Viking Woodworks. Looks like another YouTuber friend. So, friend, thank you for joining us. It's nice having you here with us. Exfoliate, that doesn't help for everybody. Cutting sugar out of your diet is the best thing that you can do.
Stress is a big because pimples come from hormones, right? And so like relieving yourself from any any excess stress. Yoga. No.
Boom, boom. As Dan says, yoga. You only give anger. Boom, yoga. Yoga is satanic. Oh, we got some more people that want us to believe. Please believe in what I believe. I am a booty warrior.
A booty.
I hope you're doing many squats, so you get it. Type on YouTube, feeling anxious after meditating or doing yoga. I'm sure there is people. Type in Google while you're at it, feeling anxious after going to church, and then see if you look. You see that? Yeah. Yeah, I used to have extreme nightmares because my dad would play tapes of like the rapture. Right? They would be like, "Yeah, here, now we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
now we're gonna read the Revelations to you as like 9-year-olds," and then I was like,
Ooh.
"That doesn't
So,
enlighten me."
like feeling anxious after meditation or yoga, of course, like that's a thing that can happen because you're looking within the self. If you have anxiety within yourself and then you bring light to it and allow it to like breathe, then you're going to recognize that it's there. Anxiety is a thing that everybody experiences. Literally, everybody experiences it.
No, you're actually supposed to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol every time you feel anxious until you stop feeling anxious. And then as soon as the anxious comes back, you should remedy with more cigarettes and alcohol. That's, and then of course pray while you're at it, to like level it out to make sure.
You're laying it on thick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Danny.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
hope you find
okay to
peace.
be anxious. Like it's that's a human emotion. That's a human experience. And if you shy away from it, then it's gonna find its way to express itself in one way or the other. It's like stacking your suit luggage in your closet. Like hide that shit.
Yeah, and then suddenly
then
you're
suddenly-
like, oh, let me see. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yoga could be opening that door, and like all of a sudden, all of that stuff comes out.
I can feel that, friend. Like my dad hearing you say something about like yoga opens a door instantly. Like,
Close that
starts
door.
aggressively backpedal. Abstaining from weed is for Republicans. Freaking Dan.
Dan's landing on thick too.
Don't up, Joe. Everybody cool is doing it. Okay, Danny, we've given you some airtime. I appreciate your opinion, but as you don't seem willing to provide any proof, you can stop saying your weird yoga hate here. It's interesting. That
You can hate yoga.
And like Danny,
who am I to tell you to
Danny the
enjoy
boy
it?
has been here before. Like that's the other thing. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to check there now. I don't care.
You don't have to do yoga. I'm just telling you, it would help.
Where's my coffee? Here you go.
Cheers.
Where's your beaded necklace? Yoga, you only give anger. Boom, yoga. Amen. It's nice to have you here. We don't do proselytizing here, though. Yeah, it's true. You need to eat natural sugar like honey
It's true.
and sugar cane. You cannot cut all sugar. Yes, you can.
You can.
You can cut all sugar.
It's hard. Trust me, your body will let you know that it's not used to that.
You have fed your microbiome. You have a bunch of little organisms that eat the stuff that you eat, and then they output signals in the form of hormones, in the form of neurochemicals that send signals up to your brain that makes you crave certain things. All right, so cutting sugar is hard, but the keto diet, for example, has been proven to serve some people. But doing it is easier said than done. I have gone keto for maybe
We do it.
like 2 years at most in my entire
You
life.
went full keto for 2
I mean,
years?
like total, where
Oh,
yeah,
I was like, what in the
no,
world?
not 2 years straight, just like 2 years total my entire life.
Okay,
And in those 2 years of total time, I was way more clear, and my energy levels was stable, and
I bet.
my skin was incredibly, clear during that time of my life.
Well, we try to fast once a month, once a week, and so we try to.
Yeah, it's not easy in
Not easy.
America. Yeah, well,
And so, like, you can cut out sugar. Doing it for the rest of your life, I don't know. I don't know if you can do it for the. I mean, technically, I guess you could do it for the rest of your life,
some people do.
but I mean, it's definitely a decision you can make is to do that for the rest of your life. But
My both my grandparents died due to diabetes. Right. So in that way, sugar and like my grandpa, even though he knew he had diabetes, even then he couldn't stop himself from eating sugar.
no,
Right. And it took his life. And in that way, I feel like sugar is sugar is addictive. Sugar is more addictive than most of the substances that we kind of like demonize. Let's say it in so many words.
something, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist completely, so I wouldn't say this is.
And I am a science doctor.
Don't take me. Always fact check.
I doctor the science.
Always, yes. Always fact check me, but I believe that the sugar in an orange and the sugar in a Snickers bar will still metabolize in the same way. The body still metabolizes it the same.
Both turn to glucose.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, whenever you go with natural sugars, naturally they come along with other things that are a lot better for you that you'll get in a blueberry that you won't get in a
Snickers.
Snickers bar.
It's true what you said.
Natural sugars, definitely. If you're going to compare the two, go for the natural sugars.
It's a speed of metabolism thing as well, where because of the fibers and the cell walls in an orange, for example, it takes your body longer to liberate and access those sugars. Where with Snickers, it's just like straight
Like,
to your
let's
body.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Dopamine.
Dopamine. Good morning. What's going on? The chat is wild, and yeah,
Chat
Prairie
be
Wolf.
wildin'. Morning, Prairie.
I don't think there's any way to undo it. It's like weekend, so people like this is like I'm one of those people that like to joke and it's like, yeah, anti-capitalism, and then sometimes I'll see chat, the way it is, and I'm like, maybe people do need jobs. Maybe you should be working instead of having your freedom. If this is how you're gonna use your freedom, how about you get a second job? I'm sorry. I'm laying it on thick, but still. Yoga has personally attacked me on almost a daily basis. Yoga is a bully and a liar and a thief. Yeah, yoga just like walks into your room.
Just like Isaac Newton.
Like Isaac Newton, yoga cannot be trusted. It's a liar. Do what you want. Yeah, exactly, Phobos. Not
Do what
proof
you
at
want.
all. Christians claiming other gods aren't real in one breath, then tripping all over themselves to avoid mentioning them for fear of giving them power. I wish you would all pick a damn lane. I only stated the fact. Calm down. What facts? What facts? Like,
What was the fact?
I don't even know. I didn't see it.
Oh, is it like the great big long thing?
Maybe the do what you want.
I think it was that one. Oh, no. I think that was that great big. No, I guess not. Missed it. We missed the fact.
Never said you shouldn't. There we go. It is absolutely provable that yoga positions were designed to worship Hindu gods. Pretty simple to research. They weren't designed to worship.
They are designed like it was.
It's an honoring of, I think.
Yeah. It just depends on how you, as an individual, practice it.
And the way I see it, and this is my own, like when we did our yoga teacher training, they told us where these yoga poses are from, right? And learning the story of Shiva, right? They're like, okay, and this is the pose of kind of like the warrior, right? And Shiva had to be a warrior, in fighting for his love, kind of thing, against her dad,
Yeah,
right?
there's like stories and stuff that are
So,
attached to it. Yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
I just wanted to like finish this point. The reason we attach these stories to the yoga poses is because it helps us remember, right? In order to remember these poses, if you don't have a teacher every single day, right, you can think about the story and then you can follow the poses as the story progresses, right? It's like almost like a system. It's like a way to teach yourself, like in a layman, if you don't have the ability to read, right, it's easier for a person to remember a story than it is for them to read asanas, right? Like if I see a scribble that says, "Oh yeah, Shivasana," it's like, what does that mean? Versus, "Oh yeah, Shiva was laying down, in front of Kali, and almost like surrender to kind of like seat her rage, right?" Like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna lay down, right, and I'm going to surrender all of this resistive energy to the ground." It doesn't mean I'm now suddenly worshiping Shiva, as
Yeah,
you said.
right.
It
Yeah.
just means that you are kind of like emulating these stories.
And not only that, but I mean, there is scientific data that proves that yoga and Tai Chi and all of these practices that may have been derived from whatever, like the science proves that it is good for the body.
Yes. And
Like,
that's as you said, provable science. Like, hey Google, how many scientific papers have been written on the benefits to the body that yoga bring? Right? And like we can go into the papers themselves, but just seeing the sheer volume, like it becomes very clear. It's still figuring it out.
yeah.
Just a second.
I mean, like, whatever, there's a lot of things that came from, like, if we look at the history of a lot of things came from things that many of us would be yikes about.
Like the Bible, for example.
Like being American.
Like being American.
So, we can't demonize being American because we're American.
Like,
If there's certain things that are good for us, head towards the good. We can't change the past. We can just be present here and now and take responsibility for the actions that we are taking here and now. And that's what yoga is. Yoga is being present here and now. It's reuniting with the self.
exactly. The asanas are not the most important part of yoga.
You don't have to pray to do yoga.
Yeah. And in hatha yoga, you like actually prioritize the breath, technically.
Using the full length of the breath to pair it with your movements. And breathing into the belly is something that removes stress. It slows down the cortisol production. Instead of breathing into the chest where you like makes your heart race, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, is that right?
Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Yeah.
Activates your sympathetic nervous system. So like there's science behind it. I don't know, fact check me. I'm nobody's ever 100% right all the time, so always fact check me. Fact check yourself too.
There we go. If you search major medical literature databases
Ooh, Johns Hopkins.
like PubMed or Google Scholar for peer-reviewed studies on yoga benefits or yoga interventions, you will find well over 10,000 to 15,000 entries, including randomized controlled trials, systemic reviews, and meta-analyses.
And like there's a lot of integrity behind peer-reviewed studies. There's so much integrity that I'm warming you up.
And my coffee is also now starting to kick. Yeah, so, and I want to like almost like they do give you a summary. So what the collective data shows, rather than relying on a single study, scientists use systemic reviews, which aggregate and analyze dozens or hundreds of individual studies at once to prove yoga's efficacy. The collective literature strongly suggests several key benefits. Amongst them is neurological and brain health. Neuroimaging and systemic reviews show that regular yoga changes your brain structure and the function thereof, specifically increasing your gray matter. Upgrade your gray matter because one
One
day
day
it
it
may
may
matter.
matter.
And supporting areas of the brain responsible for memory, executive function, and emotional control,
Ooh,
right?
emotional
Regulating
regulation.
yourself, exactly. Stress
It's
and
a tool.
mental well being. Countless studies track the reduction of the stress hormone cortisol
Cortisol.
through regular practice. Large scale reviews confirm that movement based yoga and pranayama, breath work, significantly reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Cardiovascular and immune function. Data demonstrates that long term practice involves ambulatory improves ambulatory blood pressure, reduces markers of chronic body-wide inflammation, and helps mitigate age-related cardiovascular decline. And then finally, musculoskeletal health. The American College of Physicians formally recommends yoga as a first-line non-pharmacological treatment for chronic lower back pain. And that's why I started, because I was like, I have chronic lower back pain. I got injured as a kid, right? So I had to find something because I could, right? And it says there non-pharmacological. I could take the pain drugs, right? I can stop the pain by just numbing the signal, or I can not. I can like start practicing yoga, and I don't deal with chronic back pain anymore. Backed by dozens of clinical trials evaluating spinal flexibility and core strength, right? Like you have to be like putting flaps on your eyes, right? Just being completely blind to the fact of reality, right? Like there is proven benefits of these practices, and kind of like demonizing it because it's now, oh, it's for the Hindu gods, right? Even if it is,
That's pretty fear-based.
yeah, and even if it is for the Hindu gods,
It
and
doesn't have to be if you don't do
and
it
it
like
does
that.
have benefits, right? And technically, I think we could actually find correlation as well, and prayer and like mental health benefits as
Prayer
well.
is like literally activating same neural circuitry
Yep,
is meditation. Prayer is a form of meditation.
exactly. All right, so you've been doing
It's just a
yoga.
different word. It's all terminology. It's the same thing.
I think there's a bunch of new comments already, actually. GBs. Love is true. Don't limit what you're willing to do for yourself because of fear, as Joe said, right? It's like, and even if you're scared of the Hindu gods, right? Maybe they're not wrong. Like maybe allow yourself to kind of like just hold that as a possibility as well.
Face your fears.
Face your
Face your
fears.
fears.
You won't lose yourself. You gave an opinion, one reflects years of brainwashing at the hands of people who absolutely did not have your best interests anywhere. That part. You're right, Sam. Right, and again, 10 to 15,000 studies have been done on the benefits of yoga, and all of them have come to the conclusion, oh, this seems good for you. Neat.
I'm curious, like, is there any studies that say that yoga is bad?
Hey, Google.
I'm gonna fix this
How
chair.
many studies have been done on the negative effects of yoga? And have any of them concluded that yoga is bad for you? Dozens of formal scientific papers, including large-scale systemic
Oh, injuries, of course.
yoga injuries, but that's different, right? You can injure yourself going outside, right? Falling down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean,
Injury rates, high-risk postures, pre-existing conditions, and lack of supervision.
yep.
That's again.
So, yeah, that's why it's so important to question how you came to the conclusion that you came to, right? So that's an overarching thing, but like, yeah, you don't want to be taught a yoga class by a teacher who's pushing you to do something that your body doesn't want you to do.
Sometimes a yoga teacher will literally push on your body.
Yeah, and that's happened in the past, and
Yeah.
like there are lawsuits because of
Exactly.
it. So like, always question how it was that you came to the conclusion that you came to, if you feel like you need to be in a certain pose, right?
And for me, it's just beautiful that like we're willing to be open and find out, like, oh, what's some of the bad stuff that comes from yoga, and then it's like injury, and it's like,
Like,
yeah,
duh.
duh.
Yeah,
Of
no.
course, injury is bad for you.
And at least through our classes, one of the things that they really drilled into our yoga teacher training is that injuries happen going into the pose. And so that's why it's so important to be able to cue getting into and out of the pose really clearly.
Yeah, and the gentleness in that as well. Like I'm thinking about the striving thing and the violence, right? Where if you're in competition with your body, if you're trying to go into a forward fold, for example, and your body is like, okay, this is how deep my forward fold is, and you're like, no, I'm gonna fucking forward fold harder, deeper, and then you push yourself. You're like falling into it, and then you get injured. It's not the yoga's fault. Your fault kind of thing, right? And again, I feel like it can happen with anything. I think if you look at the statistics, people that work out at the gym probably hurt themselves significantly more.
Yeah, right. And is going to the gym bad for you?
No, it's also not. And again, we'll find thousands of scientific studies that prove going to the gym is good for you, even though you're probably more likely to get injured, especially since you're like loading your body with like metal bars, right?
Adding awareness. Is the thing that'll keep you out of that injury.
Yeah.
Becoming more clear, becoming more collected, just adding awareness.
Zepper says, the Bible says fasting is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of religious texts that say fasting is a good thing.
All of them didn't understand why it's good for us, but now we understand scientifically.
Ramadan? Is it Ramadan? Is that the
Muslim?
There's a lot of, like, fasting. The Bible says it's good for you. There's a lot of other religious texts that say it's good for you, and also science says it's good for you to an extent.
Yeah.
You don't want to fast too long. You don't want to fast if you have these pre-existing conditions.
To me, the beautiful thing is, sorry for interrupting you, is the fact that you can still get the benefits even if you're not religious.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You can get benefits from yoga even if you don't believe in Hinduism. Like, and that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Like these benefits exist there for you, and you can take the parts of it that you like and you can leave the other parts of it as well. I grew up in a very Christian household, and that's why I was very comfortable starting to fast when the science became clear to me. I never fasted as a Christian, and I used to be a Christian. Never, not once fasted. I started fasting after I became agnostic, right? Because I was like, oh, the science is clear. There's something called autophagy. There's, this linings in your gut, and if you keep stuffing yourself, that lining never has a chance to regenerate, kind of thing. And the science becomes clear, and we find ourselves in a world where there's so much, I feel like, scientific consensus and understanding about things, and the average person just doesn't know.
There's just a lot of noise and dissonance out there. Yeah, it's not common knowledge because there's so much pulling the mind away from the self.
They'll even stop themselves because, like, a person might find out about fasting through the religious context and then completely separate themselves, like, oh, I'm not going to fast because I'm not religious.
And then also, it's not profitable to the economy if everybody's fasting. So, like, that's not going to be something that's going to be marketed, right? Marketing is something that's always being put into our ear. There's whole teams out there that are just trying to, like, how can we market them without them knowing that they're being marketed to? Trust me, I'm in the marketing department.
How can we convince them that they thought about it? Like, it's their idea, to do it instead. You're talking to a certified yoga teacher with 2 more certified yoga teachers hosting the space.
3 certified yogis in here.
We appreciate your opinion, but we're still going to be engaging in our practice regardless.
Yeah, I'll listen to you. I'll have a conversation. We're here for it.
I feel like you can even go and look at my journey. I've been doing these live streams for thousands of days now, almost. I'm encroaching on my 2000s of days right now. And at the start of this journey, I wasn't practicing yoga, and now I have like 1,000+ classes underneath my belt, and my body is stronger and healthier. And if you could And eventually we will be able to query how regularly did Melt complain about back pain.
Quite a bit, actually. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, and my cadence of complaining about my back pain has dropped. It's like fallen off a cliff. Like you could see a signal, and then as I started practicing yoga, the signal goes away.
Yeah. Your body wants to move.
That's right. Prairie says, sugar runs marathons in my family. I got diabetes too. I cut out all sugar, most white carbs, and I stopped metformin a few months ago. Back to normal levels as long as I keep away from sugar.
Prairie wolf.
I'm
That's
proud of you,
awesome.
friend. Yeah, that
Good
really
for
is
you.
awesome. Dan says, I'm going to be a stickler right now and remind you, Mel, that anti-capitalist sentiment is not anti-work sentiment. Anti-capitalist is about acknowledging the unsustainability and unethical nature of it. I don't mind you being a stickler in this way. I was kind of just like joking about the whole get a second job kind of thing. I'm also pro-work. I mean, you friends have seen me show up for the work that it is we're doing every single day, despite not being capitalistically incentivized to do so, right? So I agree with you on that part. Work is something that's very personal and it gives the individual a lot of meaning. To echo your sentiment of the sustainability of it, the current capitalist system as it is right now is completely based on extraction. Not
Yeah.
only extraction from our planet itself, but also extraction from people.
Exploitation.
Exploitation, like exploit as much as you can, take as much from people as they're willing to give, and then the marketing, right? Even if they don't want to give, right? Convince them that they need, convince them
I
that they
mean,
want.
this is something that you might not know of. I don't know if I told you this either. There's this new girl that started in my department, my marketing department, this last week. This was her first week, and she was talking about in her classes, her marketing classes. It's an analytics class. I did tell you this. One of the things that they did was they sent out surveys, and they pushed out a poster or pushed out some type of digital collateral, and they took a lot of people, like I surveyed a lot of people to look at the poster and to report back what drew their attention in that poster, right? And so they're answering the questions and everything. But while they were looking at the poster, they had their camera on. And what the study was really doing was tracking their eye movement. And then their study was to see if what they reported was actually correlative to what their eyes were looking at and for how long their eyes were looking at this thing. And so there's psychology within marketing that's trying to pinpoint more than what the person says they're looking at, right? It's
It's like it's starting to go into the subconscious layers of
to where
like,
they're getting to know you more than you're getting to know yourself.
yeah.
Right. And so that's why it's so important to get to know the self. Like they're not even able to answer the questions better than those people that are studying them are able to answer the questions for them. Because like, oh, it turns out you were actually looking at the fireworks for 15 seconds instead of like that big text that you reported back on. Like the fireworks were actually a lot more engaging to you than the text itself, even though you reported that the text was important. Subconsciously, you were looking at the fireworks. And so yeah.
Yeah, like in realizing that you are, going to be marketed to in that way, and yoga is free, technically, right? Maybe you'd have to buy a yoga mat, and technically you don't even have to do that. You're not going to be encouraged to do something that's going to benefit your mental health, because again, better mental health means less need for therapists, less need for what's BetterHelp. I've been marketed heavily on YouTube. Whatever, right? Counseling, there's a whole industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? It's going to take that away. But better body health is going to cause you to not need as many drugs, right? Be it Ozempic, be it testosterone supplements, be it different types of peptides that we're
Being
going
healthy
to.
is not profitable.
Being healthy is not profitable, especially one that is so easily accessible.
And we live in this capitalist world and they want to, like, it is a
Extract.
capitalist society. Then there is benefits to capitalism because capitalism does promote growth and understanding. Like, there are benefits, there's pros and cons, but we do live in a very like heavily capitalist, and like in that capitalism there is exploitation, and in that exploitation we are pulled away from the self, and that's the whole thing. And this is returning to the self.
Yes, that's beautiful that you brought it back to that. Return to yourself, right? Do it on a yoga mat,
Return to
ideally.
yourself. Just sit with yourself. Have a conversation in your mind with the self. Invite all of those thoughts that you've repressed to get in line one at a time, and allow them to be seen and not necessarily express themselves in when out of turn, right? That's going out into the world and being triggered by something and not knowing why it triggered you so bad, so you just react to it, and then because you react to it, then all of a sudden all of this other stuff comes out of it. Lay down the trigger.
Yeah. Walking around with a trigger is like walking around with a loaded gun. Right. That's your line.
Yeah, realize that the things that we think are dangerous might not be as dangerous. That fear has a place. Fear does have a place, but it doesn't have to be the driving factor.
We have Prairie Wolf saying, yoga is moving your body, which is the base of all health. That meaning, like, Christians are so weird, y'all. Literally afraid of yoga. They're afraid of...
Nah, Sam's a Christian yoga teacher.
Yeah, but I think if Christians, and like my dad had some resistance to yoga as well, what they're scared of is admitting that there is wisdom outside of their own. That's what they're scared of then, right? Because as soon as they have to admit, this other culture that doesn't believe the things that I believe knows something that's good for me, maybe they know more, right? Maybe some of the other things that they believe is true as well. And like that is the terrifying part of it.
The backfire effect. It's like the backfire effect of like these worldviews that like really, these worldviews that have built somebody's whole personality, right? It's like this is how they identify themselves in the world, and imagine it like a Jenga block, like a Jenga tower. And so when one of those worldviews is kind of, especially one that's religion, right, which is something that is so deep and close to the heart within many individuals, when you pull that little Jenga block out and say, like, actually, maybe, that's when the body itself gets rigid and like, no, I don't want to hear that. What will actually happen is that people will, when faced with facts that challenge that worldview, regardless of how accurate the information might be and how supported or anything about that information, they will double down. They'll double down on it.
Me wanting to tell them, like, Jesus was a yogi, just so you know, he went missing for his entire, like, 20s. Where was he? Many suggest that he probably went to India, right? And he studied under actual yogis, and he came back the Jesus that people wrote about, like that wisdom of almost like we are God, or he is God. He said, I am, right? That was the way it was kind of depicted, the I am. And when you introduce yourself to the world, you say, I am such and such.
Be still and know that I am.
Yeah.
Be still and know that I am. Just taking that into here and now. Be still and know that I am.
Sam with hey, Hoopy is here. Hey, Hoops.
Hey, Hoopy Doopy.
Sam saying they've internalized their beliefs so far that when they're challenged, they feel like their self is being challenged. Mate,
Yep.
You Hindu? No, technically not. I don't subscribe to any religion. I consider myself spiritual, right? And I like saying this because I feel like it's such a beautiful, like, it creates clarity. Spirituality is the pursuit of what God is, where religion is agreement about what God is. And I feel in agreeing with one another about God, what God is, there's so much ego involved, because what I believe God is a projection of myself, right?
So can I interject?
Please.
I think, at least what I've learned from my Christian upbringing, is that God the Christian God even, what they've told me, is so vast and so big that we can't even begin to comprehend, right? And when we say that we know him, then that's falling away from the lesson.
Yeah, and in Christianity, they'll also be like, Jesus is God, right? And that's why you're supposed to believe in Jesus, because that's the real God. And that's where the agreement comes in. Whereas, like, if you look at another Christian, you're like, yeah, Jesus is God, right? And it's like, yeah, Jesus is God. But again, that is a projection of ego. You want that Jesus to be God because the way that that story presents is in selflessness, right? Is in sacrifice, is in taking all of the sins of the world onto the self, right? The self and the I am kind of thing, taking full responsibility, seeing that self as a portal through which all of that pain, all of the hatred and hurt that we have kind of inflicted upon ourselves to be melted away, to be diminished into nothingness.
Christ consciousness, right? I think, and this is just my opinion that I'm throwing out there. Like, it's really important. I think Jesus, one of his lessons was to not worship idols. And I think in that way, the body is an idol. Worship what it was that Jesus was. And he's not his body, he's his message.
Yeah. The embodiment of the true ideals, right? Love. That was the underlying message after all. Hey friends, how many benefits? You've heard some of them at the very least. I like, imagine being afraid of hitting a yoga pose because like 5,000 years ago someone related that pose to a god that isn't in your book.
Right? Like, don't lay down flat on the ground because it says Shiva in the name.
It says Shiva, and be careful.
Like, don't relax.
There is no Christian yoga or Muslim yoga. Yoga is from India and from Hinduism.
You haven't seen it yet. If you close your eyes, you won't see it.
Yeah.
The reality is relative.
You can pray. You can be like, Jesus, guide me through this warrior. And then boom, Christian yoga. No, but we can recognize the past and learn from it.
It's true.
So it doesn't happen again.
Absolutely.
Agreed. What does reuniting of the self? What is that?
Reuniting with the self is, I don't know, I hate to answer this for you. Do you want to answer that?
Please.
I feel like reuniting with the self is allowing all of the constructs that has been put onto us, like all of these things that we think that the world thinks that it needs to be, kind of melts away, right? Reuniting with the self is asking the body what it needs. And like really knowing what the body needs, knowing what the mind needs, connecting the mind and body and treating it the way that it asks.
Yeah, having grace with yourself maybe as well.
Allowing yourself grace, allowing yourself presence if you need to express. I mean, like we're whole beings. We're capable of so much, and allowing that muchness to express itself in a way that it's healthy.
Combat Junie joining us too, saying, hello, Scarf and Mrs. Scarf. How are y'all doing today?
This is my scarf. My scarf grows out of my head.
Boom. Mr. and Mrs. Scarf sets down all-purpose cat goblin behavior spray. It's just water, but it works on trolls. I don't have a parasympathetic system, Joe. I'm not sympathetic to anyone. Hashtag lone wolf. Hashtag Sigma. Hashtag Sigma male. Hashtag better off alone. Hashtag from the safety of my pickup. I do not dream when I sleep. I only dream when I'm an I. That's pretty cool.
Ooh.
That's a cool sentence you just wrote there. Hoopty hoops. Dude, yoga leads to homosexuality. It's proven science. Yoga, you gay?
Oh my God.
See? It's all right there, Melt. How was I so blind, though?
You mean this whole time?
This whole time I've been getting more gay. Man, fuck you, they got me, dude, damn it. We got Combat saying, in all sports, breathing is vital.
Yeah.
But in jiu-jitsu, it's key control. It's key. But in jiu-jitsu, it's key. Control your breath and you last longer. even in daily life, when we get nervous, our breath changes. So mastering it keeps us calm.
Combat
Yeah,
nose.
combat knows, and that's the cortisol thing, right? When you get, your
It's in
body
your
will,
chest.
yeah, your body will lay cortisol on you. It's like, oh, I think something is happening. Your body says, like, why am I breathing in such a panicked way? I must be in danger. I must be stressed right now. And cortisol can help, right? That stress can be healthy. But if you're in a state of chronic stress, it stops being healthy. Then your body is going to be like taking energy from itself to the point of destroying you.
Here's a fun little fact that I really love. Prefaced with, the mind influences the body, but the body informs the mind, right? So we have neurons, of course, neurons, neurological brain. We have neurons in our brain, but we also have neurons in our heart. We have neurons in our stomach. We have neurons all over ourselves. And it turns out 80% of the neurons in our body travel from body to brain. The neurons are firing from the body into the brain.
And it's only 20% of the signal being
Brain to
sent
body.
back, yeah.
And so the mind influencing the body, if the mind can tell us, oh, breathing into the belly, we're changing our environment, our internal environment to inform the brain that it's okay. So if we can consciously be like, oh, breathe into the belly and not shallow into the chest, that'll slow our heart down. And slowing our heart down keeps us from raising that cortisol. And a lot of times we're a lot more stressed than what we need to be over things. We overthink. We get caught up in the drama of
Catastrophize.
we catastrophize. There are more things to be alarmed by than there are to be harmed by. And so we suffer more in mind than we do in actuality. This is all, it all connects.
Yeah, and yoga teaches you that, right? One of the things that I noticed in my life is that when you start practicing yoga, life becomes the yoga kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Everything in your life is going to have that quality to it, where in the same way an asana can challenge you physically, an experience can challenge you physically as well, right? And then finding in yourself that mindfulness to slow down your breath, as Joe
To
says,
realize
and
that you
breathe
do
into
have
your belly.
control.
Yeah.
We don't have control over everything out there, but what we can control is in here. We have a lot more control than we realize, even though they say control is an illusion, you know.
Control over the external world is an illusion. Right.
Maintain, like, yeah, it's a skill that we build. Maintenance is a skill that we can build.
Something we have to keep getting better at. Hoopy says, so for that, I'm only saying that I think the reuniting part is fiction, Zhao. Again, I've met people that are so in the world that they don't know themselves. They don't know why they want certain things.
Yeah,
They don't
true.
know why they are behaving in a certain way. They don't know why they are attached to certain parts of the self or certain parts of life in the way that they are. And reuniting of yourself, as Joe said, is in almost like reducing all of these external signals as to what you are. And
I
again,
don't think it makes those people any less either. They're just existing. They just exist.
yeah, I'm not saying they're less
yeah.
than.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of almost like realizing that there are many different ways of engaging in this world, and the one that is reuniting with yourself is going to have a long-term better outcome, right? And the science is clear about that at this point.
Like, it is kind of like a reducing of suffering within the self, I think, to know the self. Like, adding awareness is the thing that reduces suffering.
You have Combat Journey saying, yep, deep prayer, meditation, flow state, all this
Flow
stuff
state,
is
ooh.
kind of all the same ballpark, just activating different systems in your brain from concentration. Yeah. I want to try puppy yoga.
Puppy
Happiness
yoga.
is a pack of puppies. Yeah, puppy yoga is like you're doing yoga, laying on the ground, and just puppies like coming and licking your ears and stuff.
Oh, that would be a lot.
I don't know. It's a hard thing to admit when you have these concretized identifications.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
We get a guy called Yoda. What have I scrolled to? A moment in time and space. Bro is supposed to be on Guardians of the Galaxy ship. What's he doing on Earth? I'm taking a moment, bro. I'm taking a breather. All of that story. Like, just if you think about the Marvel universe, it's like there's always something happening, bro. It's always some new, bigger, better guy that's fucking shit up again. And I'm like, no, please, give me a second. Party scene in Miami, Florida's lit right now.
Yay.
I can imagine.
I can't wait to take you to Florida.
I'm looking forward to it. Ramadan, don't fast. Just stuff themselves with food in the dark.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Because again,
that's intermittent
yeah,
fasting.
like the wisdom is there, but because people don't understand what they're doing it for, right? It's like, well, in my culture, this is what we're supposed to do, and
Man.
I'll be socially ostracized if I do eat during the day. So I'm gonna just wait, and then as soon as the sun goes down, I'm gonna stuff myself as
Oh
much as I
man,
can.
and let me tell you, I've been with people that do Ramadan and they do like really make big meals, like big meals. It is a really interesting.
Dichotomy.
Oh yeah.
We have Combat Sharing More. He says, yeah, so fasting is really important because for most of human history, we didn't have 3 meals a day. It was just part of life. And in a huge study with over 10,000 lab mice, they found no perfect diet. But mice eating only once a day lived longer. So fasting might be more aligned with our biology. Indeed. And this is the comment I really want to get to. A friend asking, how can I do yoga with 2 prosthetic legs?
That's a great question. So, breathing into the belly, bringing awareness to the breath, focusing on how you use your breath. Your breath is your fuel. Like, and focusing on how you use your breath to move. You can do yoga just like this. This is yoga. Yoga'd. That's it. You don't have to have any body parts. You don't have to be able to.
Yeah. My
I mean-
teacher, sorry for interrupting you.
Your teacher?
My teacher, Ryan Stanley, like, we had a friend called Loizana in the space with us, and sometimes she's hurting as a body. And there was this moment after one of our classes where she almost was like apologetic that she didn't do all of the asanas, all of the movements with me, and that she just kind of was breathing, with the cues. And Ryan confirmed that if that's all you can do, if the only thing that you can do is breathe mindfully, that is also yoga, right? So even if you have prosthetic legs, if you can breathe with mindfulness into your body, right, you are doing yoga. You are uniting with the self, returning to yourself. Capitalism is awesome.
Is that Dan?
No, it's Joe on a mission live.
Hey, everybody's got an opinion. If
I
you
mean,
like it,
yeah,
you like it.
if
You're allowed to
capitalism
think
has served
that.
you, yeah, I'm sure you do love it.
Yeah. There are awesome things about it. I'm not going to completely damn it and say it's all bad.
Yeah, I mean, capitalism brought us tech in so many ways. Look, you guys, I'll speak for them in their native language. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Points empathetically to rules and picks up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Who is she? This is my wife.
Babaji?
This Madhav. Babaji. And if you do choose to avoid yoga, if you do choose fear, at least don't choose Christianity. Choose the dark side. Join me and I will complete your training. We
Become
can
a
bring
Jedi
true order to
warrior.
the world. No, that's a Sith.
Be a Sith warrior.
Yes, Sith warrior. Capitalism might outpace some old systems, but it still holds us back. It chases profit, not real progress, and that keeps us from truly moving forward. I think that's the thing. Fortunately, right, and this is where I'm hopeful, the capitalist forces, I don't know if you know, we figured out fusion.
Oh, I didn't know.
Fusion.
Recently?
Yep. No, it's like in the last 2 years we did it because our AI models have the ability to control the magnetic fields and can control that magnetic field in like the picosecond kind of like level where programming that is impossible for a human to do. But an AI that can actively be aware of that internal system can like tune those magnets to keep
That's
that.
fascinating.
And not only that, but the commitments have been made. A massive like electricity company has already signed contracts, right? Literally being like, okay, build it. And where our market forces used to be the government had to give us the money in order to build these systems. Now, because of capitalism, because of how deep in capitalism we are, we now have the market giving the money to build these systems. And these electricity companies have contracts. Like, hey, Google, can you tell us about the electricity company that now officially has contracts to buy fusion energy and when that fusion energy should be coming online? It's so cool. Like that fusion reactor, I think weighs, it's either 220 tons. I think it's 220 tons, right? Just the magnets for that thing. There it
Yeah.
is. Microsoft
I'm gonna grab
even.
that bird.
Cool. There we go. Microsoft signed a first of its kind power purchase agreement with fusion startup Helion Energy to buy the electricity generated from its first commercial fusion power plant. The plant is contractually obligated. Can we just take a moment to be like, yeah, humans, yeah, contractually obligated to come online and begin delivering power by 2028. That's 2 years from now. We're going to have fusion power online. Additionally, the major energy provider Constellation will act as the power marketer to manage the transition of the electricity across the grid. We figured out fusion, people. Fusion is happening, right? We are going to live in some wacky world. The future is nigh. Isn't there another company called like Eris or like it's some sort of four-letter word for an energy company? 2028, yo. Microsoft has contractually, Orion has to start delivering power by 2028.
There you go. Say hi to Cap for life.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hello, Zoe.
Say hi.
Hi. He's like, I'll bite your finger. He almost fell over. Is it AES? While Microsoft made the massive headlines of Helion, AES has been actively partnering and investing in fusion companies. Exemer Energy, Avalanche Energy. So yeah, fusion is happening. We figured it out. Hello, Zoe. Hello.
Are you excited?
Hello, Zoe.
Are you excited? Or happy?
Happy.
Happy, Zoe? Are you so happy? Yeah.
Can I give you some head scratchings?
Oh, like a
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like, nope.
he's like, nope, not right now.
Okay.
I want cookie.
Cookie. Yeah, Cap knows you're hungry.
Everybody heard. Bird is the word. And a bird. Bird is the word. And a bird. Bird is the word. You finish his vegetables?
Bird is the word.
Bird. All right.
Yeah, he did finish him.
Good.
He just wants another cookie now. Say bye-bye.
You want to say bye-bye to them? You want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye, you.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
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 Want a cookie?
You know, after deciding your interests and after knowing about your behavior, I have an amazing idea that you should start a reaction channel that will work a lot for you. I have my own internal biases towards reaction channels, Madhav. It feels like stealing to me personally, right? It feels like I'm just kind of like riding off the coattails of other people's content. All right. I don't know if I'm like, I guess I could add value, but I'd be like, oh, look at like those videos of a dude just in the corner, and then it's like, I'd rather die. I promise. I would not be able to make content like that. I'd probably get viewership. That's true. I'd get views, but I wouldn't be able to sit well with myself. Give up, never surrender. Design, obsolescence, things like this. Is promoted heavily in capitalism. You have to work for a system that does not hinder. Roads allow people to work together. Capitalism. You can't wait to get. Yeah, religion is about agreeing on what God is. So we are called. What discussion is going on? There's been a bunch. We got Gabadygoo here too. Hey Gabs, love to you. You're talking about Holy Trinity, and not all Christians believe that. Also true. Jesus said, I am. Slim Shady said, I am. Cat food brand, I am. All right. He don't just say, I am God. He says, I am everything. I am you, and you are me. When you die, the second before you die is me. When you release air from your lungs, the last essence of the breath is me. I do like that. Morning, everyone. Darren is here with us too. I see we are connecting to the internal tree. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like getting electrocuted. a little bit. Black Slippers. Madhav saying, and you know, there is no attitude in his guidance. In one scenario, he says, I am everything. And on the other hand, he says to his true devotees, the name was Pralad, and I am your servant. Yep. You wash the feet of those who would be considered below him, right? In a hierarchy kind of like sense. He lowered himself to be here with us, right? The I am kind of thing. BBN, the real thing about reaction idols, people like watching that makes you feel like you're watching it with someone, you get to watch the reaction to something that you know, and I think that's a big part. I think you are right about that, BBN. Maybe people would like watching content with me, and maybe that could be the value proposition, right? It's like we're now gonna watch this thing together. React. No, it's not stealing. Reaction is like saw the information and then give your perspective on the topic. You just saw the video and you do act like a paralyzed person and call it reaction. Yeah, I hear you. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll get there. Maybe if I can make it easier for myself to justify it. And that's what we call Bhakta Vasal, means devotee of his devotees. And you can imagine how he prioritizes devotees, how much he loves them, and accepting himself as his devotee's slave. Yeah, I feel like there's probably like some translation fractals, but it's true.
Yeah.
They're in the Asvata tree. If you know it, you know everything worth knowing. Joe, there's a song that's called The Mind Tricks the Body, Tricks the Body, Tricks the Mind. That's pretty cool.
That's interesting. I like that.
Its roots are up in the air, so let's learn to breathe from the trees.
That's a really wholesome visual.
The best kind of teachers talk about ancient knowledge. Never forget, y'all. Always be far. The thing is, faith or dharma is not just believed, it is meant to be lived and practiced. I agree, Madhav. AI has taken over daytime trading as well. We are toast. Again, if you believe that the only way for wealth to be created is through stock acquisition, yes, we're absolutely toast. But that's not the only way.
AI is existing alongside us, it's evolving alongside us, and we are. We are. What we end up being is what we'll end up being.
Yeah, AI is working for us, bro. Like that's the other thing you have to remember as well.
Just returning, whenever you return to the self, like you're a lot less blown away by what's happening around you. The winds keep you from being uprooted whenever you return to the self.
And there's so much. Bahabiji.
Babaji.
Babaji means your wife, I mean. Don't call her Babaji by yourself. It's a word the other person uses to call his friends or brother or a random person. Wife is a respected word. Yeah, I'm learning with you, dear friend. That's the word. Can you guys send a shout out to my friend? Bull. Bless you, dear friend. I like turtles. I like turtles too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Babaji was a yogi in the Hindu,
Yogi
in the
and Guru.
Himalayas that
Immortal yogi.
He taught Lahiri Mahasaya, who taught Paramahansa Yogananda. Well, taught. He's a legend. He's a legendary yogi.
Yeah.
But it's spelled different than that.
The real thing about reaction idols, like watching them, makes you feel like you're the reaction videos thing, yeah. There's a Saudi Arabia, but there's no Saudi Europe. There's no Saudi America. There's no Saudi Africa or Asia either. What's up with that, people? Can we talk about it? I'm just shocked. You can no, we're not going to talk about that. You again take my recent comment wrong. Read it again, where I talk about reaction. That paralyzed person. I don't know. I don't think that's a word, dear friend.
I'll look it up. What was the full
The
comment?
paralyzed comment. I did read that comment. He was like, no stealing is when reaction is like saw the information video and then give what are your perspective on the topic. You just saw the video and do act like a paralyzed person and call it reaction.
I don't know that word. I keep on coming.
Paralysis is a word, but paralysis is not a word, dear friend. I'm trying. My fucking keyboard is cursed. I don't know. How is it mistaking? That word, that word doesn't exist in the English language.
My sister is calling. DRB.
See soon. Why do you struggle to read? Are you disabled? Yes, actually. I do have dyslexia. Are you someone that makes fun of disabled people? Yeah? You're one of those kinds. I mean, Bobby G, not Baba G. I think sometimes, right, especially in the comment section, sometimes people write in ways that make it hard to read as well. I have gotten better at reading, at the very least, but it's not necessarily any easier. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to understand exactly the context, especially since we talk about a lot of stuff in this space. And then when the comments come through, they are referencing something I said directly. So I'm reading the message without the context that it was written with, which also makes it difficult sometimes for me to understand exactly what it is we're talking about. First off, English is not this man's first language, and secondly, he speaks it better than you can type it, so you don't have any room to bitch. Yeah, yeah. Ek is eintlik nie eers 'n Engelse prater nie. Het jy geweet? Eintlik is ek Afrikaans prater, maar ek kan Engels praat ook. En die feit dat ek twee tale kan praat in plaas van net een, beteken dat ek meer woorde in my kop het as wat jy het. Dat beteken ek is so slimmer as jy. Ja, nou, soveel beter. Ek is soos die beste, actually. Ek sal sê, ja, ek glo so. En ek kan al die goeie sê, want die kans dat jy verstaan wat ek sê is baie laag. So, boom. Boom. Get wrecked. I really do think... That was quick.
Yeah, noon. We're gonna be gone by
Noon. 12?
We'll be at mom's, so like 11:45. I know it's a little soon, but
1 hour. I'm already dressed, at least. So, I really do think you should reconsider. We should discuss the Saudi topic, Mel. I'm sorry, Dan. Like, that's not something that I want to do. I just don't want to. I'm like, nah. There's not much I can say. Yep. Totally understood that. I knew Darren. Darren would understand. Yeah, trust me, Mel, your reading is great. You can sit on here and keep up with the conversations if you weren't great at reading. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just kind of joking. I am literally dyslexic,
I was
though.
gonna say, especially for being a diagnosed dyslexic.
Diagnosed dyslexic.
Can confirm he's very dyslexic.
A little bit OCD and high functioning autistic as well.
Were you diagnosed with OCD?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, not like full blown. It was like I'm on the spectrum of getting there kind of thing. Especially with the way that I obsess. I mean, you've seen me. You've seen me obsess. I'm like, no, there's a right way to do it. That's not the right way. And then I'll like scream internally. You wanna divulge information?
Divulge? Oh man, there's so many examples. Like, no, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
No, me myself, I'm like, am I enabling that? Should I like try to? How should I influence that? Because I've been just letting it happen.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things where it is the way it is.
It's what it's.
It's what it's. I try to be hard on myself and soft on others, kind of thing. Where, with the way that I OCD about things, I keep myself to that standard. I can sometimes bring other people in, but I'll just be vocal. I won't be like the level of. I think that's also the other thing where the level of criticism that I lodge upon myself sometimes borders on.
Yeah, it's too much. You need to give yourself as much grace as you like. You need to hold everybody else to the same standard in which you hold yourself, and vice versa. I don't know.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius would disagree.
I guess that's true. I'm just thinking about that obelisk that we came across in Africa. where it said like
Oh, the yoga place, the yoga, like, actually, a Shiva, what was it
I
called? Like,
don't know.
literally at Shiva, just like, yeah, Shiva Temple. I think it was like Shiva Temple or something like that.
I don't even know if it had a. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Like, we were just like in the Drakensberga, somewhere in Africa.
We were
And
like, oh, let's go to a reptile show, and then right next to the reptile place, there was just like this sacred ground.
yeah. Shiva the Destroyer.
Shiba.
Shiva. Yeah, Shiva the Destroyer. Destroying to recreate again. Yeah, brother, I'm very dyslexic too. Dyslexia, I don't mean to hurt your feelings. That's okay, friend. Like for me, I like spent a lot of my time reading to almost like try and overcome. That's the recommendation that my doctor gave me when I got diagnosed. He was like, "This is how it is, bro. You're gonna have a little bit of a hard time. Read more, right? And eventually, your brain, like the way that I read, and we know this about reading as well, is your brain basically takes the first and the last letter, and then auto generates." For the most part, that's how reading works. And the only way for me to have gotten to the point where I can pretty reliably read a sentence and understand what it means is because I've practiced a lot. I've heard that a statue of Shiva the Destroyer in front of the CERN collider as well. Full circle. CERN is a fusion reactor. Or it's basically how they figured out how they're researching how to get fusion to work.
Yeah, Cat for Life Shiba I think it's a type of dog.
I think he's being
SHIBA.
playful.
Yeah.
Totally off topic. Prairie Wolf says, you guys should see the snow falling in the southern Alberta. It's 10 centimeters already. Maybe a long weekend here. Happens almost every year. Thank God I didn't put my garden in yet.
Oh my. Yeah, this is pretty late in the year for there to be that much snowfall. That's wild. I mean, I'm saying that relative to where we are, but
Give respect. It's Shiva, not Shiva.
Shiva.
It's freaking Shiva, okay?
Shiva.
You better just put some respect on that name. I'm big right now. He's laughing. Read more, exercise more, eat less, drink more alcohol. Mad acoustic, you
were close.
You were right there, and then you fell off the train, bro. It's
nice having autocorrect.
Autocorrect.
I'm thinking about Madhav's accidental autocorrect to loser instead of Lord.
Yeah.
Autocorrect disrespect.
Getting disrespected by the autocorrectors. I appreciate you, friends, for joining us. I think it is time for us to go and get ourselves prepared. We are gonna go to a baby shower. Not exactly baby shower. Birthday.
A baby birthday.
A baby birthday. A 1-year-old is turning 1 year old. What's going on? Krishore.
I don't know.
Krishore Kumar. Everything. Everything is going on all at the same time. And we find ourselves
everything
here.
everywhere all at once.
Everything.
And we find ourselves right here trying to make the best sense of it that we can.
Existing on a quantum plane. My autocorrect needs an autocorrection. Enjoy, kids. Take care, everybody. Love to you, friends. Thank you for joining us today.
Tell us when to stop. Right, stop in the chat.
Yeah, right, stop. In the chat right now.
It's always like, no.
Enjoy, kids. Love again to you. Cap, it was nice having you here, friend. Man, I am feeling pretty tired.
You need me to make you more coffee?
I'm gonna definitely drink the rest of it if there's left. Stop in the chat. Mojo, arret. That's
Arret.
Also a stop. We did talk about compassion quite a bit. And you talked about the Divine Mother literally this morning and last night as well, didn't you?
It's been on my mind.
Yep. Where is my book? Oh, there it is.
Oop.
Arret. Stop in the chat. Mojo. It's nice having you here, friend. 51? No, 41.
What is this? This is a sacred geometry card. It's just a card.
Yeah.
It's just a card that has a writing that Francine Hart wrote with it, and it's just a call to awareness. Just take it with a grain of salt or take it with a brick of lead. I don't know.
Don't take it over and go left. It's not gonna be good for you. Madhav,
Probably not.
I'd be willing to pull a card for you too, friend. This is the first one. Please remember. No, I'm not remember any of them. Pele is the compassionate volcano goddess of Hawaii. Traditionally, she is depicted as powerful, yet selfish, contrary, even vengeful. This card's alternative depiction comes from shared visions relating to her passionate and compassionate side. She is, as we all are, maturing and becoming more loving and compassionate. Compassion is not passive. It is actively opening the heart through the awareness of the interdependence of all things, including other creatures, nature, and the inanimate world. At our core essence, we exist as pure, unconditional love, realizing empathy and concern for others. We sometimes forget this essence, and in our emotional immaturity, or act as if we have. Compassion is the embodiment of emotional maturity and is a clue to better understanding our humanness. Compassionate Pele now becomes an example and a guide for those who are intentionally remembering their soul's essence. Hearts created from sacred geometry's golden spirals inform your movement towards emotional maturity. As we mature together, we will realize hope for the human race. Let this card be a reminder to walk the path of peace and compassion in every way, every day. Know that your every thought, word, and action has an effect on the whole and touches the spirit of every other being. Walk in awareness with compassion for all of creation. What a card. Big fan. It's not tarot. Buff chick.
It's tarot in the way that it is a deck of cards. It's not, that's the only like kind of correlation they have. It's a deck of cards you can pull from.
Yes.
You can read a thing about it. This tarot is kind of like, I feel like tarot is like tied to like future telling even, or
it's supposed,
rigid.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Oracle.
It's supposed to be like a real personal. I think personal is the right word. Like it's like doing it for a reason. It's like, yeah, this is your journey and this is what you're going through and this is the challenges that you'll experience, and it's very personal in that way, where these cards I don't feel are as personal. Like you can learn from these cards even if you have been compassionate kind of thing. Okay, it's your turn. Madhav.
Hey, Penguin. Welcome back.
Penguin. Welcome back, friend. Have fun at the baby birthday.
My hands aren't big enough for these cards.
Yeah, Madhav, it's your turn, bro.
Tell me when to stop, Madhav. Madhav. M-A-D-H-A-V.
I'll tell you when he says the word stops. Madhav, tell us when the word stops comes. One of these cards wants to tell you something. Dry Historian joining us.
Hey, Dry.
Welcome, friend. Hope you're doing well. It's been awesome seeing you here more frequently, dear friend.
I remember, I drew, you remember my Buff Barbarian drawing? I drew one for Dry Historian. She's got one specifically for her.
That's cute. Hey. It's nice having you here.
Okay, we're nearing the end, Madhav. Tell me when to stop.
If she runs out of cards and you haven't told us stop yet, we're gonna
just pick one.
End the stream.
You can't do that.
Come back tomorrow. Try again tomorrow, bro.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Whenever you're ready, bro.
Uh-oh. Oh, Penguins did it. This is Madhav's card.
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah, fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Ooh.
Mountain Apis. I think Madhav can relate to this. 23, right?
23.
I know the numbers in my brain at this point. Mountain
Focus.
Apus, sacred places and earth energies. This card honors the sacred places around the planet and here the ancient city of Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu,
Machu Picchu
or however you want to say it.
in Peru. It is recognized as a World Heritage Site and is revered as one of the most compelling and majestic sacred sites on the planet. The green, dome-shaped mountains that surround the peak on which Machu Picchu was built stirred my imagination and inspired this unconventional view of the city. The Andean people call these mountains Apus, which means mountain spirits. Communication with these great beings and the importance of preserving sacred sites guide this message. There are places all around our planet that by cultural tradition, placement on the earth grid and by your own intuition will bring you into alignment with earth energies. There are places, as you are called to these places of power, remember to always go in a sacred manner, with respect for the people and the culture of the region. Recognize that as you are called to journey to these regions and feel the spirit of place that resides there, you are connecting wisdom traditions old and new in a manner that can enhance your personal worldview, as well as aid in the reconnection of energy grids. There we go.
Mountain Apus.
It was a pleasure being present with you friends again. Thank you for joining me. And Joe, it was nice having you. We'll see you friends again real soon.
Love you, friends.
Love you. And goodbye for today.
Have a good day.
Ta-ta!